No matter the nature of the connection, whether it is with a friend, a member of one's family, or a romantic partner, communication is essential. On the other hand, there will be occasions when someone will abruptly cease talking to you, leaving you both perplexed and worried. In circumstances like these, it is of the utmost importance to locate a means by which to address the problem, comprehend their point of view, and possibly restore the relationship. This article looks into the complexities of asking someone why they stopped communicating to you and provides some helpful advice on the subject. It offers ideas, techniques, and tips for commencing this challenging conversation in a sensitive and respectful manner. Understanding the silence is covered in Chapter 1. Learning to recognize the signs. It is important to be able to recognize when someone has stopped communicating to you and differentiate this from pauses in conversation that are only momentary. The impact on you. It is important that you are aware of the emotional toll that remaining silent can take on you, as well as the necessity of addressing the problem. The second chapter is titled, Getting Ready for the Conversation. Determine the appropriate time and location. Before beginning your talk, you must first determine when and where you will have it. You should then discuss how important it is to make this decision. Explore the reasons why you want to start this conversation, and then make sure that your intentions are crystal clear by setting them. Beginning the dialogue is the topic of Chapter 3. Learn how to start a conversation in a non-confrontational tone to relieve some of the tension in the room by reading up on non-confrontational language. Sentences beginning with I. Learn how to avoid blaming or accusing the other person by learning how to convey your feelings and worries using sentences beginning with I. In Chapter 4, we will discuss how to ask open-ended questions. Learn why asking open-ended questions is an excellent way to encourage honest communication by reading this article on the power of open-ended inquiries. The following are some examples of open-ended questions. Give some examples of questions that could be asked to get a meaningful conversation started. Chapter 5 is on practicing attentive listening. The art of listening. In this lesson, we will discuss the value of attentive listening and the part it plays in gaining an understanding of another person's point of view. Nonverbal clues. During the conversation, it is important to learn how to correctly understand nonverbal clues and body language. Responding to their explanation, which brings us to Chapter 6. How to avoid becoming defensive. Have a conversation about how important it is to avoid becoming defensive and how to keep a receptive mindset. Exploring the significance of acknowledging their feelings. It is important to investigate the meaning behind acknowledging their feelings, even if you do not agree with their arguments. Offering solutions and making compromised decisions in Chapter 7. Discovering common ground is the process of learning how to recognize potential solutions or compromises that might assist in the process of relationship rebuilding. Setting boundaries. Have a conversation on the significance of establishing reasonable boundaries for all of your future interactions. Respecting their response is covered in Chapter 8. Recognizing the possibility of diverse outcomes. It is important to be aware of the fact that the other person may react in a variety of ways, including by declining to continue the conversation. Examining the significance of respecting their decisions. Discuss the significance of respecting their decisions and limits, even if they choose not to proceed with the conversation. Rebuilding the relationship is the topic of Chapter 9. Learning and development. Have a discussion on the possibility for personal development and expansion that can result from engaging in these kind of difficult talks. Reconnection. Investigate several methods for re-establishing the connection with the other person, whether this entails keeping a friendly but professional distance or bringing it back to the level of intimacy it had before. When to seek professional assistance is the topic of Chapter 10. Recognizing limitations. It is important to be aware of the situations in which it may be required to involve a professional counselor or therapist in the discussion. Finding support. Acquire the knowledge necessary to understand how the assistance of a trained expert may be an invaluable resource in the process of addressing difficult relationship challenges. The wrap-up is presented in Chapter 11. The importance of open and honest communication in keeping healthy relationships. Recap the significance of open and honest communication in keeping healthy relationships. Moving forward. Stress how important it is to use the information you've received from reading this article in your upcoming conversations and encounters.